Village of Lincoln Heights Community Hall meeting is now in session. Today's date is Monday, November 10th, 2025. The time is now 6:39. Roll call, Ms. Randolph.
Councilwoman Phyllis Baber.
Present.
Councilwoman Nona Calhoun Mumia.
Present.
Oh, that's good. I can hear her. Councilman Durance Daniels. No response. Councilwoman Tanya Key. No response. Councilwoman Laverne Mitchell.
Present.
Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter. No response. Mayor Ruby Kinsey Mumphrey.
Present.
We have 4 who are present, 3 who are absent. We do have a quorum. And for the record, Councilwoman Tanya Key will not be attending tonight's meeting because she's out of town and she's asking to be excused. And of course, Vice Mayor Linda Childs Jeter is still ill.
Okay.
Mr. Daniels just texted me and he said that he's not feeling well, but if he needs to come at 7:30 for a quorum, he will. He will, but
Okay.
we don't need no sick people around us, for real.
Well, what we'll do is we'll go with the committee of the whole and then check back with him, because like you said, we don't want anybody, and you don't want him to come out if he's not feeling well.
And now he's saying, okay, I'll be there.
Okay.
Councilwoman Baber, please. Okay.
I want him if he's sick.
Yeah,
I
if you got fever or something.
I'm trying to get sick. You know, I gotta work for all this tax money I gotta pay.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
So for the
All right.
record,
Appreciate
Councilman Daniels said that he may be in attendance. I just want to know for the record.
He said that he is sick, but if he needs to come for a quorum, that he will.
Okay.
But I could most definitely text him and tell him if he's sick, please stay away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Mhm.
And he may get, more sicker by coming out.
Or get us sick. And like I said, I have
That's
to
the
work.
most important.
Yeah, we don't want everybody sick, I know.
Oh, ma'am. Okay.
Miss,
All right.
You are
So
definitely
that's, yeah.
not sick that way. Okay, all right, so we're gonna go, we can at least discuss the committee of the whole, because we do have a quorum for that, because we're not voting on anything for the residents that are watching. When it comes to the regular council meeting, we do have to have 5 to make a quorum. Okay, so is there any old business? Okay. Then we'll go into the new business. We do have a first reading of Resolution R92. That is establishing a Memorial Day celebration. As you do know, former Mayor Haddon came before council asking us to make a Memorial Day annual celebration. So in your packet, you want to look through that, and if you have any questions, it basically says on the first whereas, in conjunction, the Village of Lincoln Heights, in conjunction with other organizations, has historically honored residents of Lincoln Heights who served or serving in the United States Armed Forces as part of Memorial Day holiday. Second, whereas the celebration typically takes place inside Village Hall and at the flagpole outside of Village Hall. And so it basically, this only thing different basically from what we've done in the past is he's asking that we hold it on a Sunday. Immediately preceding Memorial Day shall be the official day for the celebration, official day. Any questions on this from anyone? Okay. Just wanted to get a little history on that. Councilwoman Mitchell, could you give us just a little history on Memorial Day for our residents that are watching?
Oh, well, we've been celebrating it for a number of years, and we just typically have something inside, and then we move it outside, and we always focus on the Gold Star families. We invite those to come, and they usually have a word or two. I don't think did we have any Gold Star families come this year?
I'm not sure if we,
Yes, we did. We had the Smith family that came.
Oh, okay.
Mhm,
Yeah,
Reverend Smith
for,
and his family
George
came.
Smith, right. And and of course, those Gold Star families in particular are those who were mortally wounded during the Vietnam War. Within, I think, about a year and a half, we lost 5 folks, 5 men. And those men had in Martin Luther King estates, those streets, Palmore, Smith, Thomas, Simpson, am I missing one? And Taylor were named after the young men who passed. And so that's why we continue to do it. And not that we don't recognize anybody else, all veterans. But in particular, they're the ones whose names, because of the horrific loss that we had in such a short period of time. And they were all under 20, 21. They were all under 21, like fresh out of high school, really, fresh out of high school. George Thomas, Skippy, Donald Powell Moore. So I know that they were fresh out of high school.
Okay. All right, so we know that this definitely is something that the village needs to make sure it continues to happen. So I just wanted to give a little history on that, and the reason why we're wanting to do a resolution on this. So that would be Resolution 92. That's the new business. And then when it comes to the supplemental agenda, we have authorizing a contract with GovPilot for asset management, business registration, landlord registration, reporting concerns, and work orders. So with that being said, Mr. Brown, could you elaborate on this a little bit for council and for the residents that are watching?
Yeah, sure. So the reason why we have went this pathway to present this to council is because of the dollar amount associated with the contract. The objective is to sign a contract for a 1-year renewal, so that way we can fully understand the scope of its capabilities and do formal trainings for GovPilot. It has existed for the village of Lincoln Heights for approximately 3 years, and because of attrition, there has been little to no formal training nor accountability associated with GovPilot and its subsequent use. And so the objective is to do a 1-year renewal and to leverage its fullest capacity as it pertains to business registration, landlord registration, reports of concern, general work orders, and even more. There's more modules that we have that are not currently in use, and this could be very helpful for our purposes. One of the main reasons that I think that this is important is so that way we can collect data, so that way we can provide thorough accounting for what is happening administratively, specifically through our public works departments, our tax administration, and also provide some transparency as it pertains to the report of concern. There are a lot of capabilities associated with GovPilot and its digital governance, and I believe that a 1-year renewal will help us move forward with really understanding how this can be an effective and efficient way for us to modernize our operations and provide a thorough accounting of what's happening administratively through different reports to various committees, whether that be law and safety, economic development, and the like.
Any questions? I have a question. Yes, ma'am.
So you're saying we've had this for a while and we've been paying for it?
Yes, we've had it for a while. We've been paying for it, but because there has been 5 different managers in the time that it's been purchased, no one has stayed long enough to fully implement it and explore its capabilities in such a way where we can, get the biggest bang for our buck as pertains to digital governance.
Will this have anything to do with record retention? Will that be part of the
When you say record retention, what are you referring to specifically?
I went to a training where they talked about, the process of, identifying records and when we can release records and that, records retention as far as.
Remove records and say
Yeah.
when they are to be updated, the regular records retention.
I have not explored that as a potential capability of it, but we can certainly explore that with the account executive as it pertains to records retention. I believe that is something that will come through a records commission that will have to have a person appointed by council. Appointed by me and then approved by council, so that way we can have that taken care of. But I'm not entirely sure if that is a specific function of GovPilot specifically.
Ms. Mitchell? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So this is a 3-year contract.
So the contract that we had previously was for 3 years, yes. The purpose of the resolution today is for a 1-year renewal.
But this is saying a 3-year period retroactive October 31st, 25, and then in October 31st, 28. So how do we?
Yeah, so the attachment on here is for the 1-year renewal. Okay, and if you look on the fourth page, the back of the second page, it explicitly lists the 3% increase for year one. The year-by-year breakdown is speculative. We are only going for the 1-year renewal. And I shared this information with Mr. Desai for the resolution, so that way they can be brought forth in legislation to council.
Okay, so I guess my concern is that in the legislation,
Councilwoman Mitchell, can you speak up just a tad bit louder, please?
in the legislation,
Thank you.
it is saying that it's saying it's going to end in 28. Lincoln Heights desires to enter into a new contract. And then it goes down in section 1 that the manager is hereby authorized to sign the contract for the following amounts. So this doesn't say anything about 1 year. I mean, so do we need to amend it to say that it is just for 1 year?
I think that could certainly be appropriate, so that way there's no confusion on the term of the renewal, because as I've had conversations with GovPilot, I think we have had an understanding that this will only be for a 1-year renewal, just to see how effective this is once we have, full staff trained on their respective modules and full integration on our website, so that way both staff have the capability and residents have the capability to use it in a manner that is most effective.
So when Mr. Desai come, are we going to ask him that really we want this to be for a 1 year renewal with a possibility of 2
Yes.
more? Because it doesn't say 1 year renewal. The legislation doesn't say that to me. It just says it's for 3 years. And I agree, the 1 year is good, because we don't really know what GovPilot will do. And we did have someone here long enough to institute this, but nevertheless, we didn't. So let's just make sure we ask to have it amended.
Okay. Yes, Councilwoman Baber.
So, sir, is it possible, because we have already gave these people like $6,000, correct?
60.
For nothing?
60.
60?
Yeah, we paid 20.
Oh, yeah, 60 for nothing. Okay? So at this point, they should be letting us do something for free. Okay? And we just pass these levies because we say the village is broke, and here we just giving money away. So I don't think we need it. I think what you're talking about doing, we should be able to do that without this Gov pilot, or they should let us do something for free since they know that we just don't gave them money for nothing. I don't want to give them any more.
So I have a couple of questions, though. I'm glad you mentioned that, Councilwoman Baber. So, Mr. Brown, you mentioned about some training for staff. Is there going to be incurred costs in this 1 year? So are we going to have to pay our staff to learn the Gov pilot, additional to what they charge a year?
No, so all training materials, they have the account executive, her name is Miss Courtney Camperine. She has committed to provide training to every person on staff that is going to be using the platform. And there's no additional cost associated with that. So she has gone in and had one-on-one trainings with our public works director, our tax administrator, and our finance director to explore what its capabilities are and fine-tune the modules that is best used for their purposes. So there's no additional no additional costs associated with training for staff.
Is that going to be listed? Is that listed that way in the contract? The reason why I'm saying that, when we found, as we entered in a Gov pilot and it wasn't used to its highest potential, we found out that when we wanted to come out of the contract, we couldn't. We were pinned to having to pay $20,000 for 3 years. So is there a clause going to be in the contract if we want to pull out within 90 days, any of that, or are we stuck with it?
We can certainly add that. I am not certain that there has been any clause added for like any type of like 90-day notice of termination or anything like that. But if that is of interest to council, we can certainly include that within the contract language.
Yeah, because that was a big alert that we found out down the line. And then when we found that out, it was too late. We were stuck paying that $20,000, and we knew, as we were getting information, council, we found out that we was going to have to pay that, and we knew that we didn't have the active manager or interim able to implement things that we wanted, because I know some of the residents would put things on the website, the council members that put things on the website, and not knowing the training mechanism, that was the problem that we saw also.
Okay.
So I know you're gonna get the training, but that's one reason why I was trying to find out, can we get something in the contract for sure, making sure that the village doesn't have to pay that if this was to pass.
Right. And one thing I will say has been very apparent in the conversations that I've had with GovPilot thus far. They've been very responsive to me whenever I asked any questions, whenever I required any materials or anything to that effect. I will send them an email and they would respond almost immediately, especially as it pertains to getting training scheduled. So I can't speak to how it has been in times past, but when I reached out, they responded immediately, oftentimes within the hour. So I'm not entirely sure who reached out to follow up or do whatever. I cannot speak to any of that, but I will acknowledge the fact that the account executive for GovPilot, Ms. Courtney Camperine, has been very responsive and has provided some great materials for our review. So I just want to make sure I acknowledge that as well.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, did you answer my question? Did you answer my question? Can we make this happen without this Gov pilot?
As it pertains to what exactly?
Whatever information that you're going to get from them, is it possible for us to do it without spending this type of money?
I'm not entirely certain if, I mean, of course, we can pursue other opportunities, but it will take more time to have conversations with other contractors and vendors that may be able to provide a similar service. I cannot guarantee that it will be less or
No, without a service.
without a service.
Do we actually need a service to make what you're talking about happen? Because see, around this table, I learned that even though the levies pass, we still gonna be broke and we can still go in the hole. So why spend this type of money if we need the money?
Understood. And part of what GovPilot is helping us with is to get landlords registered so that way we can get with them on all things pertaining to income tax, because we have no clue. I wouldn't say we didn't have any clue, but it is difficult for us to determine who is living in privately owned properties when we don't have landlords registered.
Well, I am a landlord, and they sent me out a letter talking about if I don't register my tenants, that I can actually get 10 years in jail. So I tell you what, if you send all the landlords that letter that was sent to me, they'll hurry up and register.
I have a question. Ms. Baby, do you get the letter every year, or?
Well, this year was the first time that I received that particular letter. But like I said, they sent that letter saying if I don't register my clients, that I will be spending it's possible that I can spend 10 years in jail. So if you send that to all the landlords, I don't think you'll have a problem with the landlords registering.
Understood, and that is precisely what GovPilot was being used for. That letter is a result of the training that took place with
But it
GovPilot.
didn't come from GovPilot.
Okay.
It came from Ms. Peterson.
Ms. Peterson, right. We've had that landlord registration on the books for years.
But where can you get the registrations? Because is they out there on the, I didn't look, are they out there?
Now that I'm not sure, but it does exist on our website, and that is something that is administered as part of GovPilot.
But don't everybody go on the website?
Okay. So because of the accessibility of the landlord registration on the website, are you saying, I don't want to put words in your mouth, I just want to make sure I'm coming to an understanding. You do not, because of traffic to the website, perceived or not, you don't believe that we should have it because of the traffic that goes through the website?
No, I'm saying that I don't think that we should have it because, like we just said, we already gave these people $60,000. We haven't done anything with this. And around this table, they're saying that we're so broke, and even though the levies pass, we're still broke. We still might go in the hole. So why give these people $20,000? We need that $20,000 in this village to survive.
Let me, Councilwoman.
But we also need to be up to date, and we need to automate our services. And GovPilot is not an organization, it's an application. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's an online software, yes.
Yeah, it's just like Microsoft, like, what else do we use? Like the accounting program that we have that,
UAN.
yeah, UAN, that was introduced last year. So I think that if something that's going to make administration more efficient and will bring us in more money, it may pay for itself. And so that's why I think that is something that we should. And another question I have is that, do you know other municipalities, or does the Hamilton County use GovPilot or any other administrative?
Yeah, so this is a national corporation that works with local governments to provide services for digital governance throughout the U.S. And they have competitors as well, but I can't speak to any other municipality within Hamilton County specifically that uses GovPilot. There are others that use competitors, but I know that this is something that we've had for a little bit, and in the effort to have continuity of operations, that is the intended purpose of going with the renewal, to leverage the trainings, to leverage all of the modules as it pertains to business registration, landlord registration, so that way we can increase revenue in that way.
Councilwoman Mitchell?
Yes. So, Mr. Brown, I want to reiterate what Councilwoman Baber said. We've spent $60,000, and I think the minutes will show, and some council members will say that I was not for GovPilot because I didn't see how it was going to be used, but somebody was here that could have used it, could have looked at it, received the training. So I think that it might be in our best interest if you did perhaps have a conversation with them to see how they can offer us this year without cost, because we have spent $60,000 with them and with no service garnered. So, and know that that might be an uncomfortable situation to do, but we may need to at least think about it. Because here on your last page, for next steps, it does say determine contract term and length. So is this where we would talk about the 1 year? Okay, but we would need to still amend this because the actual legislation doesn't talk about 1 year. There is another question, Mayor, I have regarding the amount. So when we talk about, how did we get to 22,600? I didn't understand that.
That shouldn't be the case. The 3% increase is the 20,600 for a 1 year renewal.
So, but this says 22,600. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see the discrepancy. Yeah.
Okay, so you can tell us what we need to fix.
Sure.
Okay.
I got you.
Yes, ma'am.
So then she did mention the website, you know, bringing it to our attention, how it is to be used. So yeah, we are back at, people don't even look at the website, most of them.
So the question I have is, and I can go back in and look at the analytics as it pertains to clicks and the amount of time on the website, but I just want to make sure that everybody has access to this information, whether it is something that exists, you know, in our offices in this municipal building, or online if they are unable to actually come into the building. So that is one of the reasons why we would like to have it, so that way, in the event that someone is unable to come in, they will be able to process these forms online as well.
I have a question. So I'm looking at the dollar amounts, and I'm also thinking about financing. So let's say if this was approved, have we looked at with the finance director on the impact as far as our bills? Is something going to have to be cut in order for us to move this money here? What are the projections as far as cuts going into next year that would make us be able to pay for this? Because I'm thinking, is something going to need to be cut? And then, like Councilwoman Baber says, we've already, you know, even though it took us 2 years to get the levy on, where are we going to stand at? Where are we going to be at if we were to implement this, or someone? Are we going to have to cut staff, cut our suppliers? Have you looked at? Has the finance director looked at that?
Yeah, and this is something that the finance director and I have discussed, because obviously that is a big ticket amount, and want to be mindful of village finances as it pertains to all administrative operations. And so with that being said, that is something that has been encumbered for the past 3 years, and considering the temporary appropriations that will be presented to council at the next council meeting, there is no projection for any cuts if we were to move forward with a renewal.
Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
So this, so this will come out of, and I know that Mr. Key did the budget, which council really didn't have a chance to look at prior to. So this is coming out of contractual services as opposed to maybe when we first received it, it was coming out of maintenance. What, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
this
Where
has
was
come
it?
through contractual services.
Okay, contractual services under village, or was it under public service?
It was under the village.
Okay. All 3 years, right? So the first year,
I can't say that it's come through that for all 3 years, but I can get that information for you
okay,
for sure.
yeah, just where, when it started, where, from what pot did we take it?
Right.
But now it's gonna be under contractual service, so I understand what you're saying. It's been encumbered, every year for $20,000, and maybe even the increase. I don't remember seeing, an increase. I don't know if the contract to begin with was a 3-year contract, I guess it was, or was it yearly? That,
Yeah, it was a 3-year contract that
Okay.
was
to
executed.
begin with. Okay, so, we just need to fix these amounts, where the 22,600 comes from. So we need to get that. And then,
Mr. Brown, my concern is, because I'm thinking back, when we found out that we could not get out of the contract and we were tied to another $20,000. So I just think that we need to be very careful when we craft the contract with them, that there's a clause that that they're not holding our hand to continue the contract. I know it's written the way it is, and I don't like how it's written, because even though we're saying 1 year, this says ending within the 3 years. So I just think,
So that is the slide deck that was provided for the renewal. Hold on just one moment. Let me pull this up. Let's see.
no, but I don't like how this is written.
Okay. So I'll have Courtney send me the 1 year renewal again, because the link has expired to sign through DocuSign, because they wanted to sign this almost immediately after receipt. But I said that because of the dollar amount, it has to be approved through council, and I wanted to make sure to follow protocol as associated with that.
Any more questions for anyone? Ms. Baber, come on.
Say I was never in agreement with it in the first place.
so Mayor, are we going to just table this?
No, I think we need to, because I know we're not gonna have a quorum. I just think that finance chair, I just think you need to have more discussion in the finance committee Monday.
So we'll have our first reading.
No.
No, we can't vote on anything in committee of the whole.
So we're going to have, so Mr. Brown will be, going to get this corrected, so we'll talk about the 1 year renewal. And
Yes.
then fix that 22 in the exhibit.
For sure.
Okay, for
and
Monday.
the protocol is to have the resolution amended, so that way it can go to finance committee before it's brought back to council.
But really, you won't need to amend it, because we won't be able to vote anything. We want to do a first meeting,
Well,
so
no, it can be amended, even though we got this, they can,
we're not voting on anything.
no, we're not, but I'm just saying, he can have this corrected.
Yeah, make the
Yeah,
changes, yeah,
That's what he
sorry.
meant, yeah.
I was
that's what
thinking
he
like
was saying,
voting.
have it amended.
But, okay. Councilwoman Calhoun, you have anything? Is that, how do you feel about that?
Oh, for it to come to Finance Committee?
Just to talk about it. I just think the more information that council is able to, then we have the council members that are out, that'll give them time enough to review it, and then that way we'll be able to come back and make a collaborative agreement on what we would like to do, because I know they're gonna have questions on it, questions on what happened last year, year before. I'm sure they have some, but yeah, I just think that we're not there yet.
Okay, that sounds fine.
Okay. All right. Is there any miscellaneous business?
Mayor,
Yes, ma'am.
I had asked, I think at the, I don't know, Mr. Brown can't give a report, but I had asked about the business license. So did you find out about that? If not, we can wait till Monday for the finance meeting to find out how we're coming with the business license renewals.
So I do have a business list, and I have our tax administrator, Ms. D. Peterson, has been able to create and provide that for review. And I do have a list of those that are not currently renewed for 2025, and I do have those that are current. So we do have that listing for you.
Okay, and are we currently have anybody with injunctions? That, we're going through the court system for those who, because we've been doing this for a year, right? I think it was a year. We asked for an injunction for those who.
Yeah, it's been over a year now, and they were, she was able to get a
Yeah.
great amount of businesses to adhere.
And those that are highlighted in red are those that have not been renewed. And I imagine, I don't want to misquote or misinterpret, but yes, we do have that list for sure. And those that are not current, that are likely have received some type of formal documentation from us as it pertains to getting current.
Any other miscellaneous business? Yes, ma'am.
Could you ask Ms. Peterson to make sure that we have the registrations out there in the foyer for the landlords as well? I know you said it's on the website, but we need some hard copies, because like I said, people don't look at that website.
Okay.
Most people don't.
That'd be for landlord and businesses and nonprofits and any type of business that sets up in the village of Lincoln Heights. Okay. Anything else? Well, since we don't have a quorum, I do want to congratulate all the incoming new council-elects that will be getting sworn in on January 1st. Looking forward to working with them, and I do know, just to let them know, to mark their calendars for January, because that's when the state elected officials have their training. It's usually like the middle or end of January. So we'll be looking at that and see if they have it posted, so that way we can share that with them. Okay, so I just want to congratulate them all. Since we were going to do it, we were going to congratulate them. We was going to congratulate them, but since we're not going to have a quorum, I'd rather do it now, because I want to make sure that they're congratulated. Do y'all want anything I want to say?
I did go to the shared service training that Hamilton County had on Friday, and while I was there, I found, which I'll give a report. I'll get with Mr. Chris Williams, the public service, who's also there. So we'll go over the report, and then whatever he wants to add to the report, we'll give a formal report later. But I also found out that there's a Revive Thrive home repair program. And So there's some information about a loan, a 2% loan that homeowners can, within a certain income bracket, 80% of the AMI, which is $80,550 for a family of three, and $62,650 for a single person. They may be eligible for a 2% interest loan to do repairs on their home. So I got that information, and so I'm going to, I'll pass it down. And so it was quite a good workshop, and we discussed several things. So I'm looking forward to giving the report and getting some feedback on what we can do to share services.
Any other? Well, I guess miscellaneous business could be announcements also. Nothing coming up this week for as pantry flyers.
No, Revealed Holiness typically does their pantry on the 3rd Saturday.
Okay.
But they are going to hold their pantry November 22nd from, I think they're going to do it earlier, like 9 o'clock, 9 to 11. So yeah, the same time, but on 1 week later, the 22nd.
All right. Anybody else?
No, I don't have any announcements, but since we're not having the other meeting, can we excuse our people that's sick or out of town in this meeting?
We can. Yeah. Oh, we can't vote.
We
Right.
can't vote. Oh, so we can't excuse
I
them.
mean, but we're not having the regular meeting anyway, so they
Right.
really haven't missed it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we
so
can do it, what, at the following council meeting? Is that how that works?
But we're not having it, so when they come,
I
it's,
said the following, not this Monday, but next Monday.
right, but we're not having a council meeting this week, so.
Oh, I understand, but hear what I'm saying.
I do, but I'm.
No,
we're
you're
gonna
not, because
excuse
you
them
keep
for
talking
a
about what
meeting
we
we
not
didn't
doing
have.
today.
Are we gonna excuse them for a meeting we didn't have?
Oh, we don't have to excuse them. No, I'm just asking.
Right, yeah, you're right, no, yeah.
It's okay. All right.
Okay.
So
You know, you learn something new every day.
Yeah,
I
you
ain't
do.
trying to act like I don't.
absolutely, absolutely. Is there anything else? Mr. Brown, anything else doing miscellaneous business you want to share?
I'll probably have to share it within email correspondence. We would like to do a groundbreaking ceremony for this concession stand. You know that this has been something that has been, ongoing in terms of conversation and deliberation for the past couple of years.
Yes.
There's been, a few things that happened, but we are now at the point where things are about to start happening up there at Memorial Field, and that's something that we're very excited about. Want to acknowledge everybody that's played a part in this development, specifically council, administration, our partners with Hamilton County, and the engineers and the contractors associated with the project. So more details forthcoming. We would like to do this. Trying to do it this week is virtually impossible because of everything that's going on. But email correspondence will be sent out to that effect, inviting all of council, so that way we can do the formal groundbreaking ceremony. There'll be 9 shovels, so that way we can, if anybody from council decides to take part in that, you all will have a shovel to break the ground.
And do you have an idea when, like 2 weeks, December, November?
So this will likely take place before Thanksgiving. This is something we will have to move pretty quickly on it because they're going to get started on it pretty quickly.
Okay.
So it will be ceremonious in nature because they're going to go ahead and get started.
I'm just curious, because we want to make sure that the community knows, and we don't have robocall yet. So how are we going to get that
Yeah,
information
right.
out? So make sure we get an announcement
Yeah.
to the churches and see how we can get a flyer to go home with, maybe St. Monica's in the school. So that, and especially, if I may ask, that Charles Wiley be invited.
Okay.
Charles Wiley and the Black Positive Brothers built our first concession stand back in the 90s.
Okay.
So I think it would be, nice to invite him just because they had that vision and we did it. And then, of course, we had the other one.
Yeah, for sure. It is certainly my objective to honor everybody that has played a part in these endeavors because I'm really just carrying the baton to the finish line.
Thank
and
you.
I want to acknowledge
Thank you.
all those that have played a part for sure.
All right, anything further? If there's nothing further, motion for adjournment.
Motion.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, have a good night.